What's up? Beat Connect. How we doing? Welcome in, everybody. Stained Glass, congratulations on getting first. Steven, what's up? Party, party, party. And what's up, Wise Chris? Welcome in. Judging by your name, I think you've been related to Checkpoint before, but I could just be attributing you to another name that I know. But welcome. We're glad this is your first time on stream. Kind of a weird day. We're trying something new. We're doing Twig this morning instead of on Monday, and we'll see how that goes. I think we're going to move top 10s to Monday, Twig to today. We'll just see. I don't know yet. It's all a gamble. We're always figuring it out. I guess Tuesday would make sense. Top 10 Tuesday. That rolls off the tongue in a nice way. Plus Monday is normally Manga Spice Monday if we have a Manga Spice Cafe. I don't know yet. We'll see. Time will tell. We do have some weird games today. So you're here for a weird game day. Definitely some strange ones on the docket. I couldn't really figure out what to play. Can we talk about something? 2023 has been a bad year for games. Like, it's pretty rare that we get to say that. But, like, if Hogwarts Legacy is really the best game we have this year, I'm not even saying it's a bad game. But if Hogwarts Legacy is the best game we have this year, we've got to call it, folks. It's been 3 months. Yeah, I followed a while, but haven't had a chance to jump on. Rock on. We're glad that you're here. Welcome in. And, yeah, in general, our streams are pretty loosey-goosey. I don't know if you've had the chance to catch a VOD or anything like that, but we don't take anything too seriously. We don't stick strictly to any kind of schedule. Normally on Thursdays we would do a top 10 list, but like I said, I think we're going to do Twig today instead, which Twig is the Weekend Geek. We're going to talk about some of the trending titles and topics and things going on in the weekly geekly news scene. I think we'll probably wait for that for a little while, though. That's the issue, is I feel like this is our morning stream, and it's not often that we get a ton of people right at the get-go. And so I'm kind of like, do we start with this or not? So let's look. Hang on. Let me just show you. Let me just show you. So far in 2023, if you go to the top games, the trending games, number one game is Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush is a great game. Hi-Fi Rush is a great game. But compared to last year, I mean, come on, right? It's not that good. Fire Emblem Engage, I loved Fire Emblem, but come on. The best game? Metroid Prime Remastered? That's a remaster. It's an old game. It's a game that's already been. Number 4 is Pizza Tower. Number 5 is Hogwarts Legacy. Number 6 is the Dead Space remake. What's up, Wise and Lemur? I just don't understand. I don't understand what's going on this year. It's like we're in this weird hiatus of trying to figure out what games are going to come out. We have Forspoken this year. Blech. It's such a weird year for games. I'm a delayed gamer. I wait until things are out for a while and on sale. I just got a Switch. Yeah, I was super delayed on pulling the trigger on a Switch as well, but not that delayed. That's way behind. They're like ready to release the next one, but I dig it. I got mine in, it would have been with COVID. So I got mine in 2020 and then COVID happened. And then I got Animal Crossing right at COVID times. And that was good. That was the right time to have that game. Insert help me, I'm poor Geth here. Do you guys follow the guy on TikTok that talks about povos? You wouldn't know that because you're povo. I follow him and I watch every single TikTok he makes. He's absolutely delightful. I assume his pronouns are he. I actually don't know that for a fact. They. I'm going to say they until I know. They are delightful. But you know, they always say, they'll like find some video of somebody like showing off their like computer setup or like the ice cube trays that they have. And they'll be like, oh, you don't have these ice cubes? Well, it's because you're poor. Great. Love him. Love him. Love them. Doggone it. All right, I'm going to stop talking about them so that I don't mess up again. What's up, Trombone? Welcome in. Welcome in. I seem to recall you had some days off this week. Is that right, Trombone? Are you on a day off right now? That's how you get some cheap games. People dumping games to the next class console. Yeah, that's true. Except with so many people doing digital nowadays. I'm personally rocking digital. And so there's not many games that I'm recycling. I also sold all my games as a kid. And so since I've done that, now I'm like not going to do it. Hey, what's up, Cameron plus Deanna? Welcome to the Raiders. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is Chicory? Have you guys beaten it? Look at all the bombs! There's so many bombs! Have you guys beaten Chicory? Are we coming close? I'm very excited for Rain Code to come out this year. I think I'm at the final fight. Oh my goodness. And is that just in time? What? Because there was some game that you were waiting on. What game are you waiting on that's about to come out? There's a lot of games that I want to play. I thought about playing Wild Hearts today. That was one that was kind of like, maybe I'll give it a try. I don't know. T-Lou Part 1. Got you. It's already come out. It's been out. Well, they're gonna work. Thanks, Steven. Appreciate you. I thought about playing that Blanc game. That's another one that's been on my wish list for a while. But I think what we're going to do is we're probably going to play that game Birth, which I've heard about for a little while. Uh-oh. Rip to our ad viewers. Enjoy your ads. Enjoy your ads. Thank you for watching our ads. So I think we might try that Birth game. It's about 2 hours, so a pretty short experience. Might be a little gross. My wife played that game 3 times. What game is that? Oh, Birth. Gotcha. I see. I see what you're saying. I see what you've done. That being said, I think it isn't too dissimilar. And that's kind of my concern, is I just hope it's not too grody. It hasn't been rated by the ESRB for sure.
Who's your dad in this? You got chop on. Let's get to the got chop.
Got him! Got chop on. You got it, Trombone. I knew I heard a very quiet Schwarzenegger. Very quiet. We're almost done with this never-ending gacha. Almost done. It's taken forever to empty this one. Shoo. Aw. Always sad when it doesn't make it. Okay, trivia or mystery, Trombone. Trivia or mystery. Your pick. Then we're gonna do our Jeopardy. Trivia or mystery, and then comes Jeopardy. What's up, Alendris? Welcome in. How's your day? Let's start off on the right foot. Did you wake up on the right side of the bed? I hope so. I was wondering what these notes were. I was like, what are these notes? And then I remember we played the Case of the Golden Idol. Oh no, I don't have the brain for either. Does anyone else in chat want it? Anybody that wants a trivia or a mystery, name it and claim it. We'll make it happen for you. In the meantime, we'll do Jeopardy. So for those of you that have never been a part of Jeopardy with us before, you do not have to answer in the form of a question. Just answer if you know the answer. And if you answer correctly, then you will get the points and you will be on the leaderboard. All right, Stain says I'll take trivia. So I guess we'll do that before Jeopardy. But get ready for Jeopardy. If you want points, get ready for Jeopardy because it's coming after trivia. I'm okay. Had sort of a rough week so far, but glad to be here. Well, we're glad you're here as well, Lindris. I know those weeks. I know those weeks, and sometimes the best place to be is away from it. Out of it. Not in the headspace. So glad that you're here. Question 4. Stained. These trivia questions crack me up, dude. Because they're either like, what is What was the first mountain ever discovered by Christopher Columbus? But not that one that you're thinking of, but the other one. What was the first mountain that Christopher Columbus discovered that he didn't want to climb? Or it's like, what color is the sky? And this is the latter. Here you go, Stained. Question. The death of which relative of Peter Parker inspires him to become Spider-Man? Question. The death of which relative of Peter Parker inspires him to become Spider-Man? Uncle Ben. I mean, what are these questions, dude? And then the mysteries are like, he was a trapeze artist. He was in the sky because he was a trapeze. What in the world? Jeopardy. These are better questions. All right. This is double Jeopardy, so it's worth the full 2,000 points. This is the most amount of points we give out on a question. We actually got 2 of these in a row. Double Jeopardy. First one. Category is unusual looking animals. The answer. This ugly eel with a very long snout has 2 sets of jaws and teeth. This ugly eel with a very long snout has 2 sets of jaws and teeth. That is correct, Wise and Lemur. It is a moray eel. Congratulations. All right. Chat's in the clap. Bill Murray eel. All right, Wise and Lemur gets the points there. Time for our second question. Category remains the same. Unusual looking animals. Unusual looking animals for the full 2K. The answer. Warthogs often use empty dens made by these earth pigs to hide from enemies and to raise their young. Warthogs often use empty dens made by these earth pigs to hide from enemies and to raise their young. Yeah, it's actually, what's the name of the pig from the game that I'm playing, Pokemon White? Pignite. It's Pignite. That's the answer. It is not a prairie dog. Stained glass! It is indeed the aardvark. The aardvark. Congratulations to Stain. Wow. Earth pig. The earth pig, apparently. Stained, is that your first question? I don't have you on the board. Welcome to the board, Stained. Starting out strong with 2K. Aardvarks are a type of pig, the more you know. I don't know if they're a pig or not, but they're definitely known as an earth pig to this Jeopardy. Okay, the leaderboard has changed. In third place now is no longer Maybe 30 Bats, who has been usurped by Wise and Lemur with 4,400 points. Second place is Sneaky Pigs with 10K 800. And first place, our long-standing leader, Zando, with 14K 600 points. Congratulations to all our players. We're glad that you're playing along, and this is a good time. I continue to enjoy our Jeopardy excursion. Let's see. Earth pig sounds like how my kids would try to describe an aardvark. I would never try to describe an aardvark. In general, I just wouldn't describe an aardvark. That's just not something that would happen. I got distracted thinking of Lion King 1.5 and Mike Dig Until Hyenas Come. Can you tell I haven't seen Lion King 1.5 since I was like 7? Arthur would be a good one. My wife loved Arthur. I definitely like remember Arthur, but I definitely never watched Arthur seriously. Like I never actually watched it. The Dig a Tunnel song. Yep. Wouldn't know. Nothing. In one ear, out the other. Okay. That's a legit good straight to DVD Disney movie. I remember the commercials. I definitely remember the commercials. And I actually think there were a lot of good straight to DVD. I was probably straight to VHS. Was it DVD? Let's see when it came out. Nope. You disappoint me. I'm very sorry. 2004. Ooh, that's debatable. Definitely straight to video. Yeah, DVD. DVD. I wouldn't have been surprised if it was VHS though, but 2004 I guess was late enough. When did we stop making VHS tapes? The last VHS tapes ever made, like sold, were in 2008. So yeah, it's right at the end of the era. Definitely at the end of the era. No, here's the thing, Trombone. I was not a Disney kid. And that always disappoints my wife as well. She probably would have gotten that song right away. But I didn't, watch Disney. I don't know any of the Disney shows. This is a constant conversation between me and Out of Sense, which is another one of our founders of Checkpoint. And I don't know any of them. I watched the mainstays. I watched the movies, the really big deal movies, but I never watched the shows. I barely really watched the cartoons that came on. I have a very, very minimal Disney background. I was a Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon kid. I thought Disney had too many real people shows, and I had no interest in seeing real people. The only thing I was really interested in was anime, and so I watched a lot of Toonami and watched a lot of Sat AM stuff. But have y'all done a Disney or animated film bracket? I don't know if we have. You were busy watching anime and writing concerning stories. It's true. It's true. And reading manga. And most of those stories are based off of the manga and anime that I was reading and watching. Speaking of which, if you haven't watched Trigun, you need to watch Trigun. Might be my favorite anime of the year. Definitely is going to enter into maybe my favorite shonen anime ever. The original series was really good, but this adaptation is phenomenal. I think. I like dark and gritty, as you guys know from the Mirror Mural, but it's good. It's good. Don't let the 3D CG throw you off because it's chef's kiss. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you guys, spoiler alert, it is going to be the nerdy sermon for this Sunday. So you'll notice if you go back and you look at our nerdy sermons, I don't even always do this on purpose, but we pretty much go back and forth between video game media, like video, whatever, anime, something, some kind of watchable thing, and then a playable thing. Watch, play, watch, play, watch, play. That's pretty much how it goes. I haven't even left bed yet, but I need to get up so I can play more Undertale. I'm so sad about Undertale leaving Game Pass. I'm so sad about Nonary games leaving Game Pass. If you've never played the Nonary games, oh my goodness. It's the best. It's the best. Zero Escape is so good. Zero Escape is so good. As much as I love Danganronpa, it's got a better story than Danganronpa. It doesn't have as good characters as Danganronpa, but a better story. And you got to play it. You got to play it. If you like Escape the Rooms, if you are the kid that grew up playing Escape the Room games, I haven't played those. I know, Trombone, I'm sorry. You still got to get into Danganronpa. What's up, Sneaky? Welcome in, welcome in. Well, you know what? We've got a pretty good crowd here, so we'll just go ahead and do Twig. We'll do it. Since y'all are here, we'll play along. So let me find our intro real quick. Let me open up all my news articles, and we'll get right into it. The cool thing about Twig, folks, is that this is this is our news show that we do here, but since we are an interactive community, rather than just me putting together a well-edited and clippy news show, I want you guys to be a part of it. So the chat is active. The second Danganronpa isn't grabbing me as much as the first one. How far in are you? So you finished the first Danganronpa. The second Danganronpa definitely takes a little bit more time to really get the mystery, but I think it's the better one. I think Danganronpa 2 is the superior Danganronpa. My order goes Danganronpa 2, Danganronpa 1, V3. Boop, boop, boop. No, it left before I could finish. Oh, you shouldn't play Danganronpa 2. No, you need to finish the first one. You're really gonna spoil the game. You're gonna spoil a lot of the mysteries from the first game, unless you have already. Maybe you've already like Googled and read the wiki, but yeah, you need to finish the first game. They're very connected. All of the games, all the Dangans are very connected. You don't care about spoilers? Then you probably should look up a full explainer of Danganronpa 1 to understand what's going on in Danganronpa 2. That's probably why it's not gripping you. It's because you would be very confused about the events of Danganronpa 2 and why they're happening, given what happens at the end of Danganronpa 1. And that's what Kodaka loves to do. Kodaka loves to play with your expectations. So good. Danganronpa, you guys, if you ever want to talk to me about Danganronpa, I'll talk about it the entire stream. I will talk Danganronpa and I'll never stop. Let me see. Okay. So let's go ahead and do our little intro for, is this the right one? I will try to link you something. I will do my best. But you're gonna need to know the full story. All right. Let's get right into Twig. All right, welcome to The Week in Geek. So this is our news show where you guys can feel free to weigh in and say things as they come to your mind down in the chat. We'll let this be a time of interactive stuff, and we should have a good time. Any ebony person in the chat? You know, I'm not sure. Honestly, that's not really the first question that comes to mind, but we definitely have a diverse group over in the Discord. So very possible. Very possible. The way we start, Twig, is with what have you played this past weekend? So normally this is on Monday, so I guess it'll just be in the last week. What have you watched? What have you played? And what have you read? So books that you've read, manga that you've read, audiobooks that you've read, any of that stuff counts. What have you played? What have you watched? What have you read? As far as me, I have watched Tilu and Trigun, like I already mentioned earlier. I've played Dragon Quest XI, although I honestly didn't get to play much this past weekend because of birthday for Nora, and so that was definitely a bit much. And then I started reading Tomorrow, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm very much enjoying it. So those have been what I've watched, what I've played, what I've read. Trombone says I finished Tell Me Why. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it from beginning to end? I'm so glad that you're enjoying Don't Nod games. They've had a couple other games out there. I am a real pastor. Yes, I'm an ordained pastor in the United Methodist Church, and we're actually a church plant through the Western North Carolina Conference of the United Methodist Church. Yes, yes. Let's see. Our news for today. The stuff going on in the news. Some of you have probably already seen some of these headlines, but we'll go through them anyway. Sneaky says, I'm 47 hours into Hogwarts Legacy. Watch Tilu reading Way of the Kings by Brandon Sanderson. Very nice. Man, that's 47 hours into Hogwarts is very impressive. I'm like 22 hours into Dragon Quest XI, and it feels like it's all I can do to play through any more of that game. I don't know why. I can't log hours in games anymore. It's really tough. Passed my 1,000 hours played in Subnautica over the weekend. Chats in the clap for Alendris. That's so many hours. That's so impressive. Trombone says, I loved it. I enjoyed figuring out and predicting the twists before they were revealed. Yep, that's a good one to do it with. Predicting 60, 70 hours to platinum the game, says Sneaky. And Wet Cam says, I think I am around 20 hours into Hogwarts. Yep. And almost done with Chicory. Very nearly done with Chicory. I'm still not quite caught up. Still not quite caught up with Tilu, but I've definitely started getting there. H-Man, hello, welcome in. Glad that you're here. What did you watch, play, and read this weekend? That's where we're at in Twig right now. Got the achievement on Board Game Arena for having 100 different turn-based tables. That's incredible. I need to get into I have a Board Game Arena account, but I just have never gotten into it. The first news story today is a minor one. Some of you may have seen that Nicolas Cage had an interview recently at the Miami Film Festival whenever he was accepting a reward and talking about how he's not in the MCU, but that doesn't matter because he's Nick Cage. And I just think that's hilarious. I think that's the Nick Cageiest thing I've ever heard. It made me laugh, and so I wanted you guys to hear that because, at this point it feels like everybody is in the MCU except for Nick Cage, and I'm personally a diehard Nick Cage fan, and that's a good time. Another small article that you should know about if you haven't. If you're excited about the upcoming Dungeons & Dragons movie that's happening, you may have seen that they actually released character sheets. So all of the main characters in the party from Dungeons & Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves, they actually did release their character sheets if you wanted to play as them. And I thought that was super neat. That was a cool thing to do. I don't know. I hope they don't go too hard into the commercialization of the thing, but I mean, let's be real, they're probably going to. So at the very least, I think it's a neat opportunity because how many movie promotionals release character sheets? I think that's neat. So you should check it out. Let's see. The last episode of TLOU was so good. Totally, I'm sure it will be. I'm excited to get into it. Started Uncharted 4. I am about 10 hours in, and I feel like I'm getting close to the end. Yeah, those games are relatively short. I live on Board Game Arena. I need to. I also started to read A Darker Shade of Magic, says H-Man. Rewatched Harry Potter movies 1 through 4 as well, the best ones, while playing Subnautica. Got you. It was so good. Excited and sad for the last episode this Sunday. Yeah, we're there. It's really crazy. So now I'm getting more frame of reference of what episode you're talking about, Whit, and I'm very curious to see how this one goes. A little nervous about actually getting into it, but I know that people are at least enjoying it and enjoying the story that it told. But I have a feeling it's going to be as brutal as episode 5 with Henry and Sam. Wasn't that episode 5? Or was that episode 6? I can't remember. But I think it's going to be as brutal, if not more brutal than that one, and that's really tough because that was a really rough episode for me. No, this isn't really a spoiler, but there was some excellent sound design in that episode with Henry and Sam. So if you haven't watched episode 5 of TLOU, you should because it's great. But there was a moment in the show, this is not a spoiler, there was a moment in the show where you go from an incredibly active action scene to right after it, where the calm is there, and the sound design there where they just cut the sound was amazing. It was amazing. I got chills. They're multiplying. Okay. Next news article. This is one that I think is interesting. Maybe it won't be so much for you, but you guys know that my favorite kind of games are games for impact, narrative games, visual novels, story-rich, lore-rich, meaning-rich. I like that kind of video game. And something interesting is going to be happening at the United Nations headquarters. They're going to be hosting their first ever video games event called the Games for Change Festival. And I think that sounds super interesting. So I don't know. That probably won't be something that I'll be able to go to. I'm not going to just drive up to New York for their first ever thing. But I think this is an excellent thing. Games for Change has been around for a while, but hosting it at the United Nations is a really interesting way of connecting these two events and showing that government leaders, people in power and authority are taking seriously video games and the impact that they can have is a huge step forward. So I'm super curious to see what happens and what comes out of that, and hopefully if they continue to focus on that and have their own legitimate festival, then we'll get more and more of those spread across the country and hopefully eventually near me. Another small piece of news that nobody's talking about, and I can't believe nobody's talking about it. But in all fairness, they did announce it with a super quiet announcement. So it's possible that maybe you slept on the announcement because it kind of slipped under the radar. Some of my favorite video games of my childhood are the Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi PS2 games. They were magical. They were the best Dragon Ball Z games, in my opinion. I love Legacy of Goku and the Game Boy Advance games. You guys know that. But Budokai Tenkaichi was some of the best gaming ever. And they announced a new one. Budokai Tenkaichi 4 is coming out. After 16 years, it's getting a sequel. I'm so excited. I don't even know what it's going to be like. I don't know if it's going to be so like really self-contained. Like Dragon Ball Kakarot was an interesting experiment of an open world Dragon Ball Z game, but I want a self-contained fighting Dragon Ball game that doesn't feel like Fighter Z. I don't mind Fighter Z, but I want Budokai Tenkaichi. And so I am So excited for that to finally hit the airwaves. I haven't heard anything more about like when it's coming out or what it's going to look like or seeing any footage of it. But you have heard a lot of people. I can't find anybody talking about it. It makes me glad that you've heard people talking about it. I hope that more people talk about it. Hope we get a ton of news and that a lot of good stuff comes out because I want hype. I need the hype. I need it. It's all over my Facebook. Good. Please. I want more. Why is it not on my Facebook? I need it. Need it. Let's see. Starfield releases on September 6th, the day after my birthday. I really hope Starfield lives up to the hype. Yes, that is a huge piece of news, which we don't even have today. Mostly because all my friends grew up with OG games. Yeah, I definitely shared it. Not on my Facebook, but I shared it over on the Discord. And if I had any friends... No, that's not. That sounds more sad than it's supposed to. But yeah. It was definitely the game that my friends and I played growing up. And I'm super hyped about it. Really hope Starfield lives up to the hype. I could definitely see myself getting lost in that world. I'm going to play it for sure. I'm definitely going to be the one playing. I really enjoy all the stuff that Bethesda comes up with, so I'm hopeful for it. 2 major game awards happened in the past week, which is pretty crazy. The Anime Awards from Crunchyroll and the BAFTA Games Awards got announced as the nominees. So the results of one and the nominees of the other happened. So we'll start with what won at the Crunchyroll Game Awards this year. What took the cake, as it were, on all of the different areas for the past season of anime. And we'll start at the bottom and try and work our way up through the awards. Best VA performance. I'm not going to go through all of the dubs. We'll just go with probably just Japanese and English, since I don't know if we have anyone of any other descents in here. But if you are in the chat and you speak a different language other than English or Japanese, or you watch something other than the dub or the sub, then let me know, and we'll read off the winner for that one as well. Best VA performance for English was Zach Aguilar from Cyberpunk Edgerunners. And the best vocal performance for the Japanese sub was Yuji Kaji from Attack on Titan, which I'm guessing is probably Eren. I don't know. We'll find out. The best romance anime of last year was Kaguya-sama Love is War, which of course it was. I mean, it's really kind of the only one. It makes me a little sad that it wasn't Dress Up Darling, but you know, I'll take what I can get. Best fantasy of last year was Demon Slayer. The best drama of last year was Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2. The best comedy was Spy X Family. I don't agree, but that's fine. I like Spy X Family enough. I like it enough, but Spy Family is not my favorite. Best action, Demon Slayer. Must protect at all costs character, of course, is Anya. Now that one I can get behind from Spy Family. Best supporting character being Anya. I can get behind that one as well. Best main character is Eren from Attack on Titan. Best director is Haruya Sudozaki from Demon Slayer, which I think that makes total sense because that is whether I like Demon Slayer or not, it is an immaculately directed show. Best anime song is The Rumbling, the OP from Attack on Titan. Best film was Jujutsu Kaisen 0, Hardcore agree. The best score was from Attack on Titan by Kota Yamamoto and Hiroyuki Sowa. It goes on to the next screen. Best ending sequence, the best ending OP is Spy Family. Best opening sequence is The Rumbling again. I disagree about the film. You didn't enjoy Jujutsu Kaisen 0? Now, I don't know what film it would have been instead. I don't really keep my finger on the pulse. Oh, you thought it was mid? Well, I enjoyed the story. Did Bell come out last year, or was that the year before? If Bell came out last year, then it definitely should have won. Best continuing series is One Piece. Okay. Best new series is Spy Family. Best animation is Demon Slayer. Best character design is Demon Slayer, Akira Matsushima. And best original anime is Licorice Recoil. That should have won more awards. The fact that Licorice only won one award enrages me. Licorice was so good. Anime of the year took everybody by surprise. I did not think there was a chance in this world that this anime was going to be winning Anime of the Year. This is the main reason why I'm talking about it here today, is because the Anime of the Year for 2022 was Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Amazing. Amazing. I can't believe it. I can't believe that it won. I would have never expected it to win, but here we are. It did. It took the cake. It won the awards. I'm so proud of it. I enjoyed it so much. It was definitely one of my favorite anime of last year, and the fact that it's like I just can't believe that Cyberpunk had such a total 180 in their fan base and in their player base and in everything. They deserve it. I loved the game pretty much from the beginning, and I loved this story and the way that it was told. I love the character design. I love Studio Trigger. You really can't go wrong. Excellent. Cyberpunk has the best soundtrack too. Ooh, hardcore agree. I can't believe that didn't place higher. Yeah, it's tough for me to even remember what came out last year. That's probably the issue. Let's see. I love the manga, but the movie just didn't do it. Plus, Yuta isn't going to be in the show for like 3 more arcs. They released it way too early. You're probably right. I genuinely don't know what movies came out last year. Let's see. BAFTA. The BAFTA awards have been announced, their nominations. So let's see what was nominated. I'm sure in the next couple weeks. When are the BAFTAs? Let's see. What? Did they already happen? They were posted on March 2nd, but it says they happened on February 19th. That doesn't make sense. March 30th. Okay. So we'll probably be reading these in a couple week. We'll probably be reading these in a couple weeks, but these are the nominees. Most of them are not going to surprise you, but some of them might. We'll start from the bottom like we usually do. BAFTA 2023 nominees for EE Game of the Year. What is EE? I don't even know what EE is. BAFTA nominations are stacked with talent. So many tough choices in the categories. I really want to stay at Your House to win Song of the Year, but technically it was an original song from the game first, so I don't think it counted. That makes sense. Yeah, I could look at the nominations, but I'm not sure either. BAFTA 2023 nominees for EE Game of the Year. Still don't know what that means, but we're gonna read them anyway. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality, Marvel Snap, and Stray. Technical achievement: Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality, The Last of Us Part 1, and Stray. I still don't know what EE means, so we're just gonna do technical achievement. As far as I think, technical achievement, none of them. Probably Stray. I don't think any of them did anything that every other gamer is not doing. Nominees for performer in a supporting role: you have Sindri, Adam J. Harrington, Alva, Allison J, The One, Charlotta Molin, Freya, Danielle Basutti, Hayes as Angrboda, Laia Dillian Hayes as Angrboda, Ryan Hurst as Thor. For best supporting, I thought The One in Immortality actually did a really good job, but I have a feeling Sindri's gonna take it, maybe Thor. You think Freya? I would like to see Freya. I guess Freya was in it more. Sindri had the heartstrings, and Thor was like, people had been waiting for Thor so long. You should play Immortality, Cam. It's a good game. Real twisted. If you ever played a Sam Barlow, it's very typical Sam Barlow, but I think probably his like magnum opus. Definitely be prepared for some awkward scenes. There's very much nudity in it that is uncomfortable, and there's some really dark storytelling, and there is one moment the first time it happens that literally gave me chills. So there you go. Nominees for performance in a leading role: you have Alejandra Vargas, Elaine Meza, Amicia, Charlotte McBurney, Kratos, Christopher Judge, Marissa Marcel, Manning Gage, Lara, Shoban Williams, Atreus, Sunny Suljic. Not a stream game. That would be a mistake. That would be a mistake to make. I don't know if they have like a streamer category that they would remove that scene, but there were a lot of them. Not that many. It's not gross. It's very much like you're watching films. So it's 3 films, right? And so it's there for a reason. It's not superfluous. It's not gross. It's there. Okay. BAFTA nominees for, who's going to win that one in my opinion? I really hope it's not Christopher Judge again. I would actually really like to see Sunny win, just because I think support an up-and-coming artist would be really nice. I don't know. For sneaky sake, I would love to see, Charlotte McBurney win. I was just about to say that. That's really funny. It probably will be Christopher Judge, but again, I don't think he deserves it. I don't know. He's great, but he always wins. Nominees for original property: Citizen Sleeper, Cult of the Lamb, Elden Ring, Sifu, Stray, and Vampire Survivors. You guys probably know my thoughts, but it's got to be Citizen Sleeper, and if it isn't, then they're wrong. Nominees for narrative: Plague Tale, Citizen Sleeper, God of War, Immortality, Pentiment, or Stray. I could go between either Citizen Sleeper or Pentiment. Honestly, I might go with Pentiment. Pentiment kind of deserves it. I would personally vote for Citizen Sleeper. If Stray wins, we riot, okay? If Stray wins, we absolutely lose our minds. Nominees for music: A Plague Tale Requiem, Cuphead, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Stray, or Tunic. I didn't really like the music from any of those. Probably Ragnarok, because wasn't it Bear, right? Plague Tale needs to win? Okay. I don't know. I have no ideas there. I didn't really play Cuphead this year. That's a weird thing to do DLC winning. Elden Ring music was atmospheric at best. Stray music was atmospheric at best. Tunic music was atmospheric at best. Nominees for multiplayer: Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, EA Sports FIFA 23, Elden Ring, Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, TMNT. I'd like to see TMNT win. I don't think it will. It'll probably end up being COD. Elden Ring is a really funny choice there. I would not consider Elden Ring a multiplayer game. Nominees for game design: Cult of the Lamb, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Tunic, or Vampire Survivors. Oh my gosh, if Vampire Survivors wins for game design, that is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm going to say probably it's going to end up being God of War. Yeah, it's probably going to be God of War. Plague Tale music enhances the game so much. Yeah, it enhances the drama, as I understand that game. Nominees for Game Beyond Entertainment: that's kind of their games for Impact, which I actually haven't played several of these, so I'm going to add them to my list. Citizen Sleeper, Endling, Extinctionist Forever, Gibbon, Beyond the Trees, I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, which I still need to finish, Not for Broadcast, and We'll Always Have Paris. I am opening the other ones that I haven't played. What is Not for Broadcast? What is We'll Always Have Paris? I definitely remember Gibbon. Anyway, it's Citizen Sleeper, and if it's not, then they're wrong. Nominees for Family Game: Disney Dreamlight Valley, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Nintendo Switch Sports, TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Probably Kirby. Nominees for Evolving Game: Apex Legends Dreams. I cannot believe Dreams is still on a category list for 2023. The Elder Scrolls Online, Final Fantasy 14 Online. Forza Horizon 5, No Man's Sky. I always root for No Man's Sky for this one because I think it's so impressive what they've done. Nominees for Debut Game: As Dusk Falls, The Case of the Golden Idol is on this! Somebody knows! Somebody knows about The Case of the Golden Idol. Dude, if it doesn't win, they're wrong. If that game doesn't win, they're absolutely wrong. Stray, Trombone Champ, Tunic, and Vampire Survivors. I could see Stray probably taking this one. It'll be the funniest thing in the world if Trombone Champ wins. Case of the Golden Idol didn't have enough people play it, but it deserves it more than all the others. Vampire Survivors would not surprise me because it had such a huge player base. Nominees for British Game, which of course this is the BAFTAs. Citizen Sleeper, Ollie World, Roller Dome, Total War, Warhammer 3, and Vampire Survivors. Didn't know Vampire Survivors was a British game. Citizen Sleeper deserves it again. Won't win it, but deserves it. Probably be Ollie World or Vampire Survivors. Nominees for Audio Achievement: A Plague Tale Requiem, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Metal Hellsinger, Stray, and Tunic. For H-Man, I hope it's Metal Hellsinger, but odds are it'll probably be A Plague Tale or Ragnarok. Nominees for Artistic Achievement: A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Immortality, Pentiment, and Tunic. I sure hope it's Pentiment, but it definitely won't be. It'll probably be Elden Ring, maybe God of War. Nominees for Animation: COD, Modern Warfare 2, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, Sifu, and Stray. Sifu's super inspired. I would love to see it win, but I don't think it's going to. It'll probably be God of War. Nominees for Best Game. This is the final category. The best game of 2023, BAFTAs, is Cult of the Lamb, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Marvel Snap, Stray, or Vampire Survivors. Dudes, I'm seriously so tired. I'm so ready to be out of a year where Stray exists because I'm so tired of seeing Stray on all the nominees list. It was an okay game at best, dudes. It was a 6 or a 7 at best. It does not deserve to be placed up so high next to every other game, every other time. It was a fine game. It infuriates me. I'm so tired of seeing that game. Best game, it might be Elden Ring. It's definitely going to be either Elden Ring or Ragnarok. I could see it going either way. I enjoyed Stray a lot, but I'm shocked it showed up on so many lists. It was a game. It was a game. I played the entire thing, and it was a game. But like, it didn't blow my mind. It wasn't the most impressive thing I've ever done. It was fun to play as a cat, but it was a game. It was just a game. I'll never understand. I'll never understand why that game has done so well. Let's see. I gotta look up these games real fast. We'll Always Have Paris is a wholesome adventure that explores the lived experience of memory lost and the beauty of a love that lasts 2 lifetimes. Not for Broadcast is a full motion propaganda sim. That sounds super cool. And Given Beyond the Trees, I remember this one, but I don't know why it never ended on my list. We'll add that one for sure. Okay, so that has been all of the headlines for this one. That took a long time, but a lot of award shows and things like that take time to talk about. Next up, our segment of the show is To the Discord, things that are happening on the Discord submitted news. The only thing we had this week was from our own Stained Glass, who did put in an article that somebody tossed at least $100,000 worth of Magic the Gathering cards into a landfill. Which is super interesting to see people that actually like took the time to I saw some of the ones were even like sealed or still in like their wrap or things like that, and pretty depressing to see all of this. Obviously it'd be a little bit more of a gut punch to me if it were Pokemon cards, but it's still pretty insane. Imagine a year where we have 4 to 5 masterpieces like Elden Ring and God of War. All the award shows will be a lot harder to predict, right? Totally. And then imagine Stray ends up on all the nominations lists alongside God of War, Elden Ring, Horizon, and what was the other one? Plague Tale. Crazy. Because the internet was founded on cats, and cats rule everything. It started with I Can Have Cheeseburger and will continue since then. I mean, I like it. I liked being a cat. But that was like the extent of it. It's so silly. All right, our next segment of the show. At this point, oh wait, hang on, we need our epic announcer guy. Hang on.
At this point in history!
This is the segment of the show where we talk about what games or movies or TV shows or any of the following came out today in nerd history, March 9th of any of the past years. Some random games to throw in there. Supraland, if you played that game, it was kind of fun. Came out in 2018. Super Smash Bros. Brawl came out in 2008, believe it or not, which is crazy. I love that game. Love Super Smash. Brawl was one of the best of them, in my opinion. I really liked the story mode. Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes came out in 2004. Super Mario RPG hit the television screens in Japan of 1996 today. And Mastermind, the classic Mastermind video game on the Altair 8000, launched today in 1976, which is just mind-boggling to me. Movies that hit on this day in history are 300. The classic 300 movie hit in 2007 today, and the original Children of the Corn, which they actually just aired a remake of last week, was in 1984. Which is just crazy. All of the history that has come out and all of the fun things that we have to look back on. I find it interesting. The remake has a 7%. I mean, I wasn't going to see it. I didn't enjoy the original Children of the Corn. It didn't do anything for me. So that's really funny, though. 7% is so bad. I don't even know. Like 7% is it bad enough to go see? Or is it like, don't even go see, it's so bad? It's not even funny. Might be up for a Razzie. I guarantee it was 7%. Okay, that has been
At this point in nerd history.
Damn. With that, we move on to our next segment of the show, and actually our final, because I forgot to get a meme of the week this time. Oopsie doopsie. Our final is the upcoming releases for this week. There's quite a few things coming out this week that I think are pretty interesting. So we're going to look through those. First off, today, they're actually releasing Ib on the Nintendo Switch, which is a game that's been on my back burner for a while and will eventually happen. We might play it today. I doubt it because it's already 9:45. But Ib is a RPG Maker horror game that I've been super interested in for a long time. If you've gotten your hands on the coveted PSVR 2, which I've actually heard is just okay, then you should buy Before Your Eyes, which comes out tomorrow. It's a great game. If you don't feel like buying it for yourself, then you should go watch our Let's Play of it. We have a full Let's Play over on our Checkpoint Church YouTube channel, and you should check that out. Also coming out tomorrow is Motto Anomalies, which is a cool-looking turn-based RPG that comes out tomorrow on Steam, PS5, Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Windows, Series X, all the stuff. It's all over the place, made in Unity. Looks like a fun and interesting game. I like the art style. Mile High Taxi comes out on the 13th. You may be saying, what in the world is that? And so did I. But it looks like Crazy Taxi, except you're in space. Crazy Taxi, well, you're like in like a Star Wars-esque, like Star Wars 2 Attack of the Clones flying city. And so you drop people off and they're like miles above their landing spot. It looks interesting. Looks like a good romp, quick romp. Rough Justice 84 also comes out on the 13th. If you played the game, what was it called? Hang on, I gotta look it up. No, none of those. This is the Police. If you played the game, This is the Police, or This is the Police 2, it looks like that, but set in 1984. Even a similar art style, something you might consider doing. Delete After Reading comes out on the 14th. That is described as the book you can play or the game you can read. That's all I know about it, and honestly, I kind of low-key plan on playing it because it looks real interesting. Escape from the Red Planet comes out on the 14th. Looks like a kind of management sim. The Wreck comes out on the 14th. I'm very interested in this one. Trombone, you might be interested in this one as well. But this is a very similar decision-making, trauma-based, visual novel-esque, don't nod style game where you are playing as one, I believe it's one of two sisters that have survived a wreck and are dealing with the trauma from that. Let's look, hang on. No, that's not it. Escape from the Red Planet, you say? You might also enjoy that one because you do like management sims, I think. But no, I was referring to The Wreck, which I'm going to go find again. Well, I might. There it is. Mature 3D visual novel about sisterhood, motherhood, grief, and survival. Follow failed screenwriter Junon as she attempts to make it through the most pivotal day in her life. Relive the past, alter the present, embrace the future, or without your help, Junon's story might end in a wreck. Ooh, so it's actually before the wreck. Looks like a interesting story-based, decision-making style game. That's just kind of my steez, so if you're into that kind of thing as well, might be interesting. Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight fans, if you are out there and you enjoy those kind of games, Dead by Daylight Mobile is launching on the 15th. So if you want to take your horror gaming to mobile gaming, then that should be for you. I don't know how it's going to be different than that like V game, 5V or whatever it was called, but maybe it'll be different enough because it's Dead by Daylight. And then Flooded is coming out. This one I thought was interesting. It doesn't look like a game that I'll play for very long. But again, if you like management games, this is a reverse management game. So you start with the full island and you build up your resource management, but flooding is happening. And so you're going to continually have less space for your resources that you're creating. I don't know if that means you have to build up or what it means because I haven't played it yet, but sounds like an interesting concept and premise, and if it's cheap enough, sounds like a fun little puzzle game. So Flooded comes out on the 15th. Movies are all hitting on the exact same day, which is tomorrow. 65, which is the latest Adam Driver flick that's coming out there. A very strange looking movie if you haven't seen it. It kind of looks like Adam Driver is aboard a colony spaceship that crash lands and only one little girl survives. And so it's him and this little girl, and they have crash landed back in time to a dinosaur planet. So to 65 something. I think it's 65,000 or something. I can't remember what they said, but it's 65. It does look like Turok the movie. But if you like Adam Driver, then I'm sure that's going to be interesting. I don't know if it looked good necessarily, but it definitely looked like it was a movie that was happening. Champions is a movie coming out with, what's his name? Not Willie. Not Willie. Willie's not his name. Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson is a minor league basketball coach who does bad things and winds up getting sentenced to community service and is forced to coach a Special Olympics team instead. Looks inspirational. hopefully. Typically, things that are involving Special Olympics end up being inspirational, unless we're talking about that one movie with what's his name? I guess that movie was inspirational in the end. Yeah. Anyway, Scream 6 also comes out on the 10th. Curious about that one. I personally enjoy the Scream franchise, but I haven't really gotten into the reboot ever since they started doing that stuff. Isn't this the one with Jenna Ortega too? So that should be interesting since she's kind of popping off right now. See how that one goes. I enjoy the Scream franchise, and I'm sure it'll be good enough. Oh, it's getting a 9. It's getting a 9. That's very exciting. Very, very exciting to be that high up on the roster. So might end up might end up seeing Scream 6. We'll see. Has some really good reception. Yeah, I'm happy with a 9. And then probably significantly less, but if you like Morgan Freeman, he actually has a straight-to-TV thriller coming out called The Ritual Killer, also on the 10th. So those are 4 movies that you might consider watching. No TV shows dropping other than regular serialized content. But those are your upcoming releases for the week. So let us know what you plan on playing or watching or things that you plan on doing. And we will see you back again with more Twig next Thursday live on our stream. Sometimes this show is going to be hosted by not just me, but also by our level 2. Hopefully we'll see that happen more in the future. If you want to submit your content, you can do that either on the Discord, or you can do exclamation point Twig. Yes, you can do exclamation point Twig here on this chat, or you can go to bit.ly/dear twig, DEAR twig, bit.ly/dear twig, and you can submit your news there, and it might be featured on next week's show. Okay, with that has been Twig for the week, and we are glad that you're here. Hope that you're enjoying this content. If you're watching right now on Twitch, say hi, YouTube, because this will be posted on YouTube later. If you're watching now on YouTube, let us know what excited you most during this episode. Did you really like the news? Was there one news piece that stood out to you that you want to talk about down in the comment section down below? Or do you want to talk about maybe one of the things that blew your mind about this day in nerd history? Or do you want to talk about something that you're planning on playing or watching from this list of things coming out in the next week? We would love to hear from you there. With that, we're going to wrap up this show as we always do with our 3 things that we believe true about every single one of you out there. Number 1, that the God loves you, like really, really loves you. Number 2, we love you. We want community with you. That's what we're doing here at Checkpoint Church. Number 3, that you, yes, you matter. You are a person of sacred worth. The world is a better place. Why? Because you are in it. Folks, with that, and until the next time that I see ya, bye-bye! And welcome back to Twitch. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to go add these things to backlog real fast. Then we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to play a game called Birth. Birth. We'll always have Paris. I want to add that to my backlog. Short narrative experience about loving someone with dementia. Oh no. Oh, that's very sad. It's only on iOS. Ah! No. I refuse. I refuse. Not for Broadcast is from 2020. What is going on? Why is that up for a BAFTA? I am very curious about that one though, so I'm gonna add it to the wish list. And then Gibbon. All right, those are the 3 games. So I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break. Go stretch your legs, get a sip of water, get your eyes off of a television screen or a phone screen or a computer screen for just a minute. And when we get back, we'll be playing a new game called Birth, which we may be able to finish during stream today. We'll find out. So I'm going to throw you guys to a quick intermission, and I will see you soon. Bye, Spoofy. Alright, mate, I know what you're here for. I'm the one robot that don't sound like a robot. You're asking me to take a dive, but I can't accommodate you, mate. Got special orders, isn't it? That is his voice. That is his voice. I nailed it. Got special orders, isn't it? Looking to trade something special we can do. I might even give you something you can win. But I can't be taking a dive. PO3, you understand? I love that I nailed his voice without even needing to, dude. Heck yes. So good at games. Great voice, 10 out of 10, best voice ever. The fact that I nailed it right away makes me real proud of myself.
Directly to the cause, and I think
hello.
it's so. That's one of the things I was wondering. Is,
Hey, Brees
hey,
just
look at
donated
that.
that.
Sweet, thank you so much. It makes a huge difference. So $1 whole of that dollar will go towards you know.
It took up my
Tornado
entire
relief.
screen.
Did
You're
it?
on-
Do you have the alert box set
You
to
have the
full
alert
screen?
set to full?
Yeah, we're gonna
Oh
need to,
my gosh.
we're gonna need
That
to
is
make
the
an
most
adjustment 'cause
exciting dollar that's
It
ever
was
been
so
done.
loud. Oh my goodness, we went a whole extra hour. This one has like a little bit of a Valley Girl tone. It's also awful.
And this one was fine. Extra hour gang.
So there you go. Way too dank. Way past cool.
You love to see it.
Number 15. Other than Leshy, the scribe of beasts. And a beast he is, arrogant, single-minded, obsessed with gaining power. But he is far from the worst scribe to become hegemon. You see, the ejection of my eyeball is far from the worst thing that can happen around here. You must be... What? What? What have you done? What have you done, Perspectus? You've summoned him. You've summoned the boy. The green boy. Yeah! This is Lonk. Hello, everybody. Lonk is here. Yeah. I don't know if anybody ever clipped that. I think that might just exist in our imaginations forever. I live in front of a green screen. Yeah. I am Groot. I am Groot. My Rosa Corsa Ferrari. 10 minutes somewhere is 10 minutes anywhere. But somehow one hurts more than the other. When I'm driving to the coffee shop. Yeah. I am. All right,
Groot.
welcome back. How we doing? So, I actually low-key think let's put it up for a vote. You know, why don't we vote for it? I think we should vote for it. That poetry reading was just the best. Which one was it? I missed that. We're gonna do a poll. Which game should we play?
Who is your daddy? Does he got chopper?
What does it do?
Let's get to the gut chopper.
Either Ib or Birth, and I'll explain them. So you can take just a second before you vote. The first game, Ib, is a horror RPG maker. Classic, like one of the legendary ones that absolutely people love because of the story richness. It is spoopy. The second one is Birth, which is kind of a gross looking, it's not body horror, but it's just a little bit gross story of you are someone that lives in a town that is building a friend out of body parts, and you're solving puzzles for it. 3 minutes on the clock. Vote for which game you would rather see. H-Man says Gachapon. Sadly, I got to bounce for work meeting. See you, Barry. And H-Man did a Gachapon. I need to stock up on Jack points again so our puppet friends can join stream and we get to hear from Nate's book. Agreed. Teardrop. Congratulations, H-Man. You just beat Misty at Cerulean's Gym, and you got the Teardrop badge here. Which game are we voting on? It is either one. Either one. Ib or Birth. Vote for whichever one you want to see. One is a puzzler. One is a RPG maker. I can't decide, so I'm making you guys decide. Unless it's a tie vote, in which case we'll just RNG it. We'll coin flip it, I suppose. Because I got both. I want to play both. Whichever one don't give me more kids. I hear that. You heard? With Purd. This music is not very bloopy. I want bloopy. We're a little over halfway. A little over halfway. Get your votes in. Get your votes in. By the way, welcome in, Steven. I think I saw you enter the chat there real quick. Glad that you're here. Thanks for being a first-time chatter here. Oh, man. Oh, man. Let's see if we can see what's currently trending. Oh, it looks like Ib. Looks like we're way more curious about Ib. You guys want to be spooked? You guys want some spooky games? I'm here for it. There is exactly one achievement. The True Gertina Exhibition. So yeah, to say more about this game, it is set in a museum, like a art museum, and the art is coming alive, maybe? Let's look up how long to beat. Three hours, holy moly. That's a short game. All right, results are in. It is Ib. We're playing Ib. Let's get right into it. We're gonna go to game cap here. I don't know if we need a controller for this. Does it even support controller? I don't think it do. I don't think it do. So no controller for this one. We're going to turn off gamepad. I'm going to turn off Spoofy. Everybody say bye, Spoofy. And then we're going to open this game. I'm going to turn the sound up a little bit. We might have to turn it down. We'll just figure it out as we get there. And hopefully it's full screen. It's not. Okay, and it will not be. Neat. Okay, maybe F4. Hang on, I'm a little nervous. Okay, good. F4 worked. Let's see if it made it so that it picks it up. Yay! All right, let's change the game category real quick to Ib. Again, I do not know anything about this game. It might have content that I do not agree with or condone. Know that at Checkpoint, I will always be family friendly, even if the content is not. So be aware, there may be triggering themes in here. There may be wordy dirds in here. I will not read them. I will not endorse them. There you go. Let me know about the sound levels and if it's too loud, not loud enough, all those good things. In the early afternoon, under a gray sky, Ib and her parents were on their way to an art gallery. Did you remember everything, Ib? Oh, do you have your handkerchief? You know, the one you got for your birthday. Keep it safe in your pocket, okay? Don't lose it. This isn't that scary. All right, we're here. It's your first time in an art gallery, isn't it, Ib? We're here today to see an exhibition of works by an artist named Gertina. Besides just paintings, there are also sculptures and all kinds of other creations. I don't doubt that even you'll be able to enjoy it, Ib. Rude. Should we check in at the front desk? Ah, yes, let's get some pamphlets as well. You want to start looking around? Really now, Ib? Oh, all right. Just make sure you're quiet in the gallery, okay? Don't make a ruckus. I don't suppose I'll have to worry about that when it comes to you, though. Don't cause the other visitors any nuisance now. Ooh, CNX. Okay, curious. Maybe I should go have a smoke. Brochure. Selling postcards. Oh! Ah, okay. Make a record. Cannot save in file 1. All right. I wonder if that's a ominous thing? Hey, Ib, you know you shouldn't go back there. Why did you name me this way, mother? Ooh. That's spooky. I wanted to go see this piece with my own eyes. The mood is just so You know? It's like looking down into the sea from the surface. Question mark, question mark, question mark of the deep. A world where man can never stand. To blank that world, I decided to blank it within the canvas. Almost feels like that fish really is swimming down there. But if it actually was, I'd probably wet myself, I'm not gonna lie. That's one big O display. Heap, I feel like it's gonna suck me in. So, do you ever find yourself thinking you want to get a closer look at art? Personally, I don't hesitate to get my face up in there if I'm so inclined. I recommend it to get a better look at what's in the paintings. What? Oh, cool. A well-meaning blank. Mother? Blank at water's edge. Man, the Great Giratina does not disappoint. The more I look, the deeper it gets. Blank spirit. Eternal sleep. This piece is pretty incredible, but I wish I could see it from higher up. I feel like the slightest jolt could make this stalk snap into a million pieces. I wonder how much they'd make me pay for it. Ooh, that's a scary thought. Blank of spirit. Beautiful to glance, but should you get too close, it blank pain. It blooms only in blank bodies. Why all the blanks? Can I not read? Please refrain from touching the displays. Can I not read, or is it missing segments? Selfless guard. A truly marvelous painting. How does one even paint something like this? They just do. Coughing man. Now that one has no question marks. Sir Giratina was indeed astounding. I cannot hold him in high enough regard. Alas, if you only were still alive, I would gladly have been your apprentice. Blank. Welcome to the world of Giratina. We truly thank you for blank today. We're currently showcasing a blank on the works of the great artist Vice Giratina. We hope you deeply enjoy the art of the late Giratina, whose creations carry such mystery and beauty both. You don't know some of the words. Ah, I should have read that one first. Blank on table. Oh. Oh, I don't like that spooky eye. Is that me? No. Worry. Blank towers. What a beautiful woman, but I wonder if she was someone real. Oh, they say Giratina hardly ever depicted someone who actually existed. But some sure do seem like real people. Like this woman here, it's amazing. Class of blank. My, simply incredible. This painting would look perfect hanging in our living room. Superb. I'm truly jealous of Master Giratina's genius. That rainbow stuff looks kind of tasty. I wonder if it's the taste cleansing. Then maybe it's candy. Hee hee hee. Is that a bunch of knives stabbed into a ball? I want to take that rainbowy stuff. They'll get mad. You're boring. Taste cleansing tree. Doesn't this exhibition seem kind of small? Shouldn't there be more pieces? From what I hear, they didn't have the space to budget to even remotely show everything. Huh. Blank. It's a kitty, Mommy. There's a kitty picture. Yes, yes, I get it. Be quiet. I told you not to shout. Third floor serves as a rest area. Blank diamond. Bit of fruit. What a strange sofa, but I like that about it. I'd love to sit on it, but I suppose I shouldn't. Reserved seat. For who? Death of the individual. In my opinion, what Giratina is saying here is that the individual lives in one's expression, which is why these statues don't have heads, see? I just think it's scary. Ah, well, that's true. But by losing their heads, it's like they've lost their very personality. That man keeps prattling on. Rest area. Oh. Blank world. Uh-oh. Huh? What was that? The lights? Okay. I'm sure everything's fine. Where'd all the people go? Mom, Dad, I think they closed. Oh. Hey, Mom and Dad, I think they closed. Oh. No one's around. Hey, Mom, Dad, I think they might have closed up shop. Hey, Mom and Dad, I think they might have left. Well, it is a horror game now. Not about that. It won't open. Oh, that's fine. Got a lurk, CH man. I guess maybe I'll get out the window. Pitch black outside. Ah! Oh! A red fluid is dripping. It's Kool-Aid. It's just Kool-Aid. Yeah, I'm fine. I don't really like you. I'm going to go to somebody I like. What was that? What was that now? What was that sound? I definitely heard something. Go ahead. What was that? Ah! Don't you knock on the window! Don't you knock on my window! Ah! What happened? What is that? A fallen fruit. You didn't have to knock on the window, dude. You didn't have to knock on the window. I need a weapon. I need a weapon. Can I grab one of these? I feel like I might need to protect myself. Is there a chance I could... grab that weapon, please? Okay, well, this is where it all started. Oh! Blue liquid leaking from the... I'm here! It's me! Yeah, I am Ib. And I am here! I'll show you a secret spot. Ooh! Don't like it. Okay, well. Okay, here we go. Follow the footsteps. I'm sure they're friendly. They gotta be friendly. I'm beginning to think they might be disingenuous. I think they might be disingenuous. I don't think these people are telling the truth. I'm just not so sure that they're telling the truth. I don't know if I trust you. I don't know if I trust you, mysterious person. Okay. You really don't understand this painting. Come, Ib. Sounds like you have trust issues. I mean, that's on me. No, don't touch the rose. When the rose blanks, so too will you blank. Do I have to protect that rose? Ah. I see. Okay, well, that's my health. The blank fish. We're gonna save. It's locked. You really don't understand this painting. Story of my life. Oh, your hair. Oh, your hair. Oh! You a goofy little friend. What you doing, Goofy? Well, you got a silly little face. It's just a prank, bro. You just doing goofy little goofs. Oop. A vase full of water. It's fine. Ooh, thief. Oh. That's what you wrote, huh? Look, I feel like you lured me into this. What's that? I'm an ant. I love paintings. I want to see my painting, but it's kind of far away. Painting of a spider, painting of a butterfly, painting of a bee, painting of a ladybug. Beware the edges. What you mean? Prologue. Chapter 1. Chapter 2. Last chapter. Ooh. Can't cross this hole in the floor. Okay. Beware the... Ah! Beware the edges! Beware the edges! Ooh! Beware the edges. Actually, it looks like this painting can be taken off the wall. Remove it. I'm going to bring it to him. Yeah. Hello, Hans. Good to see you again. Would you like this painting, my friend? Oh, that's my painting. It's just as cool as I remember it. Stares lovingly. You're welcome. Beware the edges. Oop. Oh. Well, I need a... Would you give me the key? Oh, no! No, no, no! No, 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 no! No, 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 no! Oh no! Okay, he's alive. He's okay. He's all right. He's all right. He's fine. I'm not a bad person. He's fine. Nope. Nope. I wanted to read the painting. No! I wanted to read the painting! No! No! Ah! No, no, no! No! I wanted to read the painting! Okay, well, I guess now you know. Don't open door. Oh. Hello there, cat friend. What's up, cat friend? There's a fish-shaped hole in the wall. You want a fish? You want a fish? I'll find you a fish. Ah, mannequins, huh? That's fine. Yeah, these guys are probably not going to come alive. I wouldn't sweat it. They're not going to come alive. I know it probably looks like they're going to come alive, but it's definitely not going to happen. So don't even worry about it. What's that now? Ooh! Come back here! Come back here, you goofy little Gus! Listen. From underneath the skirt-like cloth, you can hear a faint moaning sound. That's fine. Look at him. There's a high-heeled shoe on each foot. One of the legs is missing a shoe. You want your shoe, and then you'll listen? I think I see something inside this box. Would you like this shoe? Whoopsie. Here, would you like this high heel? It's all yours. Just, if you wouldn't mind. Oh, thank you. Would you mind standing right here? Stop there, please. Thank you. Yay. Thanks for your help, bud. Appreciate ya. Hi. Aw, see, they're nice. You seem kind. Doing stretches, that's fine. Ooh. What'd you just write for me? Play hide and seek? Oh, well, I didn't say yes. I didn't say yes. Not you. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't like it. Oh. Okay. Can we bring the music back? I found you. I get a prize. What prize do I get? Where's the prize? Oh, it's a fish. Yeah. I did it. What's behind the other ones? Would you like your fish? Oh. Yeah, that's probably fine. Oh, my camera's off? That's weird. It's been shutting off more and more, you guys. I don't know what's going on with it. It's getting so hot for some reason. I'm gonna try turning the heater off. Maybe that's what the issue is. I should be back any second. Should be back any second. Hang on. Let's try again. Okay, well, I guess now I'm just not coming back. Let's try and give it the old deactivate. Very weird. How bizarre. With the spooky music in the background and everything, do you think Ib is in the camera? There I am. For whatever reason. Okay, we saved. Maybe do you think the rose, it heals me? No water. Understood. That's why I kind of figured. Oop. Well, that was a goofy thing to do. Flower pot with a small sprout inside. Thank you for letting me know, though, Sneaky. Appreciate you. Unbalanced box. What's this? Just when you've forgotten. Forgotten what? I don't like that. Well, I don't like that at all. Oh! You okay? I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. The liar's room. Tell me. Oh, are they all liars? There's an odd one out. Okay, so not everyone's lying. The correct tile is F6. The correct tile is B2. The one in white speaks the truth. The only truthful one is the one in green. Am I still the Jeopardy champ, or did Sneaky surpass me in my absence? You are still there, but we did have maybe 30 bats get usurped. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. Well, the good news is we needed to take a break from Movie Game, but I might have to take notes on this.
Stanley knew that he was about to receive something unknown from the gotcha.
It might be about time I take notes. Because I love puzzles. All right, Zando, your movie game is: the Lutz family moves into an infamous house that bleeds evil, birthed from shotgun murders, perpetrated by Colin Hanks and his stoner brother. That's good. That's good. The Lutz family moves into an infamous house that bleeds evil, birthed from shotgun murders, perpetrated by Colin Hanks and his stoner brother. Very appropriate. Very appropriate for our game we're playing. Ah, and it's beans for you, Zando. It's beans. Right or left? I already know your answer, but I'll ask anyway. Because maybe you'll just decide to change it up today. Right it is. I don't know which bean this is. It's the brown one. I think it's like earthworm or something. Cheers. That was a quick one. Oh, that was a quick one. Oh boy. Oh, that was a fast reaction. I don't know what that flavor was, but it was not okay. Oh, it won't go away. Oh, it won't go away. Oh, la, 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 la. Your prompt. Your prompt, Zando. The Lutz family moves into an infamous house that bleeds evil, birthed from shotgun murders, perpetrated by Colin Hanks and his stoner brother. Oh, that's so gross. The Lutz family moves into an infamous house that bleeds evil, birthed from shotgun murders, perpetrated by Colin Hanks and his stoner brother. And I'm going to have to take notes. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's take notes. We're going to figure this out. We're going to figure this out. All right. So red, white, blue, yellow, brown, green. I agree with yellow. So red agrees with yellow. White says C5. The only truthful one is the one in green. Green is the truth. The one in white speaks the truth. The correct tile is B2. The correct tile is F6. All of them, it is the Amityville Horror Orange County. Chats in the clap. Good job, Zando. You nailed it. Okay. Red agrees with yellow. If red is lying... Hang on. It must be green. No. No, it can't be green. Oh, no. All right. If green is telling the truth, then blue would have to be lying. And if blue is lying, then that means green would not be the truth. So it can't be green and it can't be blue. Brown, no one talks about. Yellow says that white is telling the truth. But if white is telling the truth, then yellow would not be telling the truth. And if red agrees with yellow, then it would not be telling the truth. It must be B2. It's got to be B2. It's got to be B2. It's got to be. Got to be B2. What was that now? Oh. Oh. Okay. So was I right? Was I right? I guess I was right. Beware of raging lips. Ah! Ah! I don't know what's happening. Okay, it has a little berry. My face was priceless. Okay, I got the blue fruit. I got the blue fruit. I did it. Ah! Now what do I do with the blue fruit? Ooh. What do I do with the blue fruit? What do I do? I got the blue fruit. What do I do with it? Does he want it? No. Maybe the raging lips? Hungry, give food. The food. Give it to me. Okay. You're welcome. This tasty. You good. Let you pass. Go through my mouth. Don't like that, but okay. Oh. 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 Oh! It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay, breath. What the bird doing? Safe. Oh. Question mark, question mark, question mark pattern. Shut. Open. Well, that smoke is making like a little heart. Smoking. Heartbeat. Ooh. Okay, got a meeting lurking for a bed. See you it. Heart wounds. Lady in red. Ah! No! 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 Get through! Get it! Get it! Go! 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 Oh no! Oh boy! Okay. Come after me. What are you doing? What are you doing, lady in red? Wah! No, go! Oh. We're fine. We're fine. Please. I'll come to you. Hang on. It's filled with pictures of different galleries. There's a bookmark with writing on it stuck between two books. Having fun? No. Woman in the canvas. The woman here quickly grows fond of humans. Once their sights are set to become quite blank, they'll continue to blank chase you until they're satisfied, it seems, anywhere, everywhere to the ends of the earth. Good, 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 good. If they have one weakness, it's that they can't open doors. Oh, I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. Thank goodness for that weekend. Weakness. Moving storybook, written, drawn by XXXX. Carrie Careless and the Galette de Roy. It's a storybook written in crayon. Carrie Careless and the Galette de Roy. Gayette.
Happy birthday! Thanks, guys. For your special day, we made a Galette de Roy. What's that? There's a coin in this pie. And if you find a slice with the coin in it, then you'll have good luck. That sounds like fun. Doesn't it? Okay, let's divide it up. Now pick the slice you want. Let's eat. No. Ah! What is it? I think I just swallowed something hard. Clumsy Carrie, that must have been the coin. What do I do? It's fine, it's just a little coin. Okay, I'll clean up now.
Oh no, Clumsy Carrie.
What's wrong, Mom? Have you seen the key to the study? To the study? It's always right here on this table. Huh? It's the coin. No! That coin that should have gone in the pie. I wonder if... Where could it have gone? Oh, your father will be so upset.
Carrie swallowed the key.
What do I do?
No. No, the key is not that important.
Guess I was just as careless as Carrie.
Don't do it. You did it.
Found the key. I'll open the door now.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I don't need help that bad. Eternal blessing. Maybe I get something for like not using the water. This is a fun church stream. Good times at the church. A glad person. Are you okay, buddy? He's in a lot of pain. Well, you look closely, you notice he's gripping a key. Do nothing. Don't take the key. You don't know him yet. Living Mountain? Are you going to spit at me again? Oh, no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. I guess I gotta take the key. It hurts. He's in pain. I guess I'm gonna take the key. I don't know what else to do. Hey, I have a small key. Aren't you gonna come after me? Oh, there's another, I see. I didn't notice that. Oh! Blank under cloth. Of course it is. When the rose blanks, so too will you blank. There's no water in the vase. Oh, wait, is this the beginning? Window's foggy, so you can't see inside. I'm sorry, what are these water droplets? Blue petals on the ground, what's up? Petals on the ground, what's up with that? Lady in blue. Where is she? Where is the lady in blue? You okay? You alright, lady in blue? You okay?
Ah! No! No!
Uh-oh. That one got me! That one got me! Oh man, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Okay. We're fine. I'm fine. Oh, she used the stool. So, is she right outside the door? No! Boy. All right. Okay. What did I get? What did I even get? A blue rose? Wait. Do I put that in the glass? What do I do with it? Does she want it? Does he get it? What's this? The pain's faded, what is it this time? I've nothing left for you to take. Oh, wait. Dear me, could you be a person? From the gallery? You are, aren't you? Oh, thank heavens. There's someone here besides me. I see. Then you wouldn't know a thing about the how or why of all this either, huh? I went through pretty much the same as what you described, too. Right down to these roses. Pain runs through me if the petals are plucked. I thought I was a goner there. Thank you for getting it back. Now, first things first, shall we look for a way out? I think I'll go mad if I stay in this dreadful place for too long. I still haven't asked your name. My, that was rude of me. Well, my name's Gary. And you are... Ib. Ib, you say? It's dangerous for a child to wander here alone, so I'll accompany you, okay? Now let's go, Ib. I was just a little startled, really, nothing more than that. Anyway, we ought to keep an eye open for bizarre things like that. Yeah, I'm really good at this game, so... This thing sure isn't a lousy place. Step back a bit, would you, Ib? And... here! Ta-da! Now we can proceed. Alright, off we go! Oh. Who don't like the hands? A grieving bride and a grieving groom. That's a big cat. That's a big cat. I love him. Something strange is blocking the door. Observe. Its back is slowly coming down. Doesn't appear to be a stuffed animal. Why do you suppose this frame is so low to the ground? Listen to the teapot's demands? Ooh, no. No, what is that? Gross. And we're back. Welcome back, Perry. You're here for a spoopy time. Why are there eyes on the floor? Well, there's one that's clearly seen better days. Doesn't this eye seem a bit bloodshot? I guess I have to heal that one, maybe? A painting of what looks like icebergs. A painting of a white snake looking closer, the eye part is sunken in. A painting of a coffee cup and cake. A painting of an upside-down woman. Oh, he's seen better days. Flowers. Flowers are nice. Give me that flower. I'll let you through. Your flower, pretty please? No. I just want it for a little bit. Okay. He's fine. He's gonna be... Oh. Leave the room and all will be as it was. What? Okay, so I guess that means reset the puzzle, but that's just a funny way to put it. I see. Ah, I can only move the stools? Okay. I can only move the stools. Nope, that ain't it. I'm convinced that's the right way. I can't move these paintings at all? Something on the stool. Obtain the eye drops. Aw, how nice. Teapot? What did it say about the teapot again? Listen to the teapot's demands. Okay. There's text engraved on the large teapot. We pour tea only into cups of the same color. Indeed, it does seem there are 4 teapots and 4 cups, one in each of the 4 colors. Oopsie! Teacups won't stop until they bump into something. Teacups are not permitted to be picked up. Common sense dictates that teacups move in straight lines. I don't think that's that common. Okay. I think I did a whoopsie. Did a whoopsie again. Gosh. Which one do I start with? I wonder if it'll start over if I... Yeah. Okay. Starts with green. Starts with green, then blue, then red, then yellow. Maybe? Yeah, got it. Easy. Easy. The smell of tea began to waft through the room. Oh! The scent-sensitive porcupus. Sensitive porcupus. Now that's an odd one. Why not porcupine? I like porcupine. Well, let's just go with that. It sounds cuter after all. Giratina certainly uses some odd words, though. Little wonder you need help understanding them. Look at this little tail. Look at this little tail. Strange thing in front of the door is gone. Now we can go inside. Look at this little tail. I love it so much. Okay. Bloodshot. Bloodshot boy, I got an eye drop for you, okay? The eye was cured. You're welcome. What can I say except you're welcome? What you looking at? Oh, a secret? Oh, red glass ball. You're welcome. Thank you for your help. Okay, so now I can go in this room. Let's save while we're at it. Oh, we have Gary now. Do we get multiple party members? Wine sofa. A giant wine glass cut diagonally with a red cushion inside. And that doesn't look very comfortable to sit on. Melancholy. You're not sure how you say this word. Melancholy, huh? Well, really, who wouldn't be in this place? Puzzle. Colorful skeleton. Those aren't real ones, surely. Oh, they're real, and stop calling me Shirley. Feeling. A tree sculpture that vaguely resembles a person. Takes a clever mind to come up with this stuff. You say so. Why are we here? Why did we go there? Why did that happen? And what does the button do? Shines like a gem. Okay, so we must need to fill in a spot. Oh yes, 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 yes. Oh! There's writing in the skull's left hand. Was there a skull down here? Yeah. Hey, buddy. Something gleams on the skeleton's finger. A ring? Ah, seems to come off. Silver ring. Silver ring. That's just for you, Cam. Just for you. Okay, so now I got a ring. Who gets the ring? The groom? The bride? Who gets the ring? A somewhat large, pretty ring with an intricate design. Do you think the groom, since it's large? Oh. Oh! It's a left hand and right hand. Left. Left hand. Left hand. Duh, I don't know, dude. The thumb, the second finger, the middle finger, the fourth finger over. Aw. You're welcome. You're so welcome. Okay. And now this guy gets the flowers that he wanted. Give me that flower, I'll let you through. The bouquet. Ooh, thanks. It smells nice. Well, chow time. No, that was good. Thank you. Thanks so much. Oh, my camera. Where'd it go? Why does it keep doing this, dude? As promised, you can take the door. Be seeing you. Oh. Let's see. While I'm waiting on my camera to turn back on, Minerva curled up on top of me, which is nice. Her sitting on top of the phone was not nice. Luckily, I was able to rescue my phone without irritating her or riling her up too much. Yeah, that's a hashtag mood right there. I don't know why my camera's been doing this, you guys. Something's up. I don't know if it's the charger. It's been getting worse and worse. They all look like Gru in the pictures. Girls. Girl. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I didn't ask to be looked at. Don't look at me. I don't like him. Is she gonna come running after me? She looks like she's gonna come running after me. This is keeping us from getting in. Oh, but look, the bars are connected to that white cage. So do you think they'll raise up if we pull on the cage? I don't think that's the puzzle, Gary. Guardian of Time, writing appeared on the dial. Give me a petal from your rose. In exchange, when you are in danger, I'll save you. What should we do? Do you believe that, Clockib? I'm sorry, but I can't. I don't want to give up any petals. Shame. Ooh! Ooh, that's really good! Do I want to give him a petal? I kind of do. I kind of low-key do. There's so many girls in blue, green, red, upside-down dolls. There's way too much danger. We did just save, too. Let's do it. The deal is made. Okay. I mean, it may not have been smart, but there's way too many girls. There's something underneath Yellow Girl. I'm gonna look around more before I go. Dude, there's so many. Girl in white, girl in red, blue. Oh my goodness, there's so many girls! Noble boasting of gold. Okay, I need that key. The Hanged Man. Oh yes, this was one of the paintings in the gallery. 2569. Yeah. 2569. Wait, was there more? 2569. You think you can get me with Ding Dang Ropa? I don't think so. I solved Leon's puzzles. Input the 4 marbles hidden in the painting, then knock upon the door. I take it hidden in the painting. There's some hint in the painting? I don't like it. I don't like it. A newspaper spread out on the floor. Golden elephant with a lamp. Lady reading the newspaper. It's dark here, so it's hard to read the news. Oh boy, there's a lot. Okay. Okay. There's a whole lot happening. Did we read this one? Yeah, red close step. Ball of the hole. Eek! Golden fish. What's this? A model of a fish? It's like it has a horn-like protrusion. Ah, that strange ball we picked up would fit perfectly on it. Combined the golden fish with the ball with a hole and obtained the golden lamp. Whoa, it's bright. So the ball was a light bulb. A large mirror. What's that say? What's this written on the mirror? A fragment of the fish is by the yellow lady. A fragment of the fish. Could this be referring to the light bulb we attached to it? In that case, well, we already found it. Yeah, because I'm good at Don't like it. Don't like it. Ugh, what is that? Why, you. Stop, Gary. Stop it. All right, Ib. My, that was immature of me. Let's go. Okay. You need the lamp, right? Say, what do you have there? A brightly shining lamp. Why? Would you trade me for that elephant? Yes. Thank you. The elephant's yours. Thanks. Oh, it's bright. How wonderful. Now I guess the elephant goes in here. No two ways about it. This isn't going to fit. What do you mean? What? Ooh, no. Can we replace the bird? Can I trade ya? What? Did I make a bad trade? What? I thought for sure the golden elephant was going to go in there. Well, I haven't even been in this room. Duh, dummy. Oh. Please refrain from touching the displays. You will be... Some of the letters are missing. Wonderful days. The gallery is like a spooky amusement park with lots of peculiar things. It's so much fun playing here. The day's over before you know it. Isn't it a fantastic place? Why don't you join me here? You'll never be lonely with all this company. You say so. What do I do with the elephant, huh? The lady gazing at emptiness. My, this painting has a different feel from all the other painted ladies. Those creepy pitch black eyes. I prefer to keep my distance. I'd prefer to know what to do with this golden elephant. Why do I have a golden elephant? Would you like it? Oh. Oh. That's the one that followed me. Why? Why did it follow me? And to what end? What was that? That golden elephant, how big and beautiful. Would you trade it for me for this golden bird? Sure. Well then, shall we just put the elephant here? And taking this bird, the trade's complete. Oh. Thank you. Ah, what a big and beautiful golden elephant. It's not made of real gold, but sure. Don't tell him that, Gary. Put the golden bird in. Yay! Everything's fine. Was that bird really so heavy? Well, at any rate, let's hurry and take a look inside. With how securely guarded this room was, there must be something, perhaps an exit. Mom and Dad! It's my Mom and Dad! If you're tired, why not rest? You'll never suffer again. It's my Mom and Dad! Another key. No exit for us this time. Mom and Dad! Is something the matter? It's my Mom and Dad! Huh? The people in this painting are your Mom and Dad? Huh. Now that you mention it, I can see the resemblance. But why would such a painting be down here, I wonder? Huh? Where are they? Well, I can't say that I know either. Don't worry, they must be somewhere. I thought she was a tough kid, but it's surely getting to her after all. What was that sound just now? I'd love to know myself. I'm sure it's fine. Now that's not kind. Now that's not kind. That is an unkind thing to do. The door won't open. Are you kidding me? The door was wide open. Noise. Is that coming from outside? This could be bad. Be careful, Ib. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Go. Ah, come on, mannequins! Where are there so many mannequins? What's going on? I think we better get away from here and quick. Ib. Look! See that locked door over there? Yeah, I see it. That gray key we picked up should be able to open it. It has to. Let's make our way over. Won't you play more? No! Ah! Oh, she's fast! Oh, she fast! Oh, she fast! Oh, she fast! Always in such inconvenient locations, we can take a shortcut if we go through these, all right? Go around. Oh, she's quick! Oh, she's so quick! As promised, I will stop time briefly. Good call! Good call us! Good call us! Good call us! Worth it! No! 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 Oh no! Oh no! No! Stop staring at me! Oh! Oh boy! That should be far enough, I think. You don't see the guy crying blood behind me? Walk further! We certainly showed them. Well then. Walk further. Let's keep moving. Ib? You look pale. Are you okay? There's a guy with blood coming out of his eyes behind me. Think I'm okay? Ib, stay with me now. Ib! Ib! Uh-oh. You can't find your red rose. Oh no. Wherever you go, everyone's watching. Yeah, I noticed that. Ib, where are you? You better run quick or I'll catch up. Oh, what do? I've searched everywhere, but I can't find her. Oh, no. Did you lose all the records you made? Gee whiz. Want to go home soon? I don't know. My rose! Didn't take care of it, so it broke. I took good care of it. You shouldn't lose it, I did a great job. Mom! Where did that girl get to? She has to go off her own, and then this. What a bother. If she doesn't hurry, we won't be able to leave. Mom. Mother and father. The exit is ahead. Oh, good. Leave me alone. Bye. Gary? Rise and shine, Ib. How do you feel? Really? Thank goodness. Don't push yourself, all right? You might faint again. Ib, would you dig in the pocket of that coat? There's a piece of candy. You can have that. Feel free to eat it. Now, let's rest here a while longer before we set out again. Oh, that's right. I placed your rose in the vase there. Untitled. Rules of the gallery. No loud conversation, no photography, no food or drink, no fountain pens, no leaving this place. Cool. And why would there be? You can sleep if you want, okay? The room seems safe. Make sure to get some good rest while we're here. The women here like to play Love Me, Love Me Not. Fun pictures, filled with lots of large drawings. Can I look at the one you're looking at, please? What is it? Why do you talk like a lady? What? Huh? Did I do something wrong? You're scaring me a little. I was just focused on getting you out of here. I showed no consideration, no regard for you. Sorry about that. What is it? Why do you talk like a lady? Like a lady? What a question. But I can't quite remember. I just took to it, I suppose. But it's good to be gentle rather than rough. Don't you agree? What does that even mean? You ready to set out again? I'm ready. Let's get going then. I'm fine. I'm fine. I can't push it from this side. Milk puzzle. Have you heard of milk puzzles? I haven't. Well, they're puzzles where all the pieces are white like milk, hence the name. Since there's no picture on them, they're much harder than regular puzzles. Very smart people can finish them in no time at all, but to be honest, they're not exciting since they don't even make a picture in the end. It feels much more worth it to do a puzzle with a picture you like. I yes. Fleeting thoughts on a moonlit night. Oh. 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 I see. I don't know. I see. Oh. Oh, I see. I see. I see. Yes. Okay. Yes, I see. I understand. Wait. Yes. 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 Oh, yes. Oh, a large mirror. Hello. Large mirror. Hello. Hit me. I found myself blank, my finger over her blank, beautiful blank, as I laid there, blank, my blank. Gary closed the book. You should wait until you're older to read this kind of thing. Cool. Really now. Okay, that should do it. I am really glad that I gave that pedal to that person. Oh, separation. What an off-putting painting. Oh. The lights. It's too dark to see. Ib, are you there? I'm here. It's good to hear. Stay put there, all right? Still, this is a problem. Huh, that's right. I forgot I had a lighter. Oh! I notice all visitors. The gallery has a strict ban on fire-starting implements. We request that you not bring in items like matches or lighters should the use of such items be reported to the staff. Huh? What is this? Turn it off! I don't think this is good for my mental health. Oh. Oh. Oh, no. Ah! Whew, you scared the tar out of me. Don't come running. Don't come running, Goldilocks. Uh-huh. Whoa, are you okay? They spelled whoa right. This game gets a thumbs up. No, wait. Say, could you be one of the visitors to the gallery? As I thought. My name's Gary, and this girl here is Ib. We too were at the art gallery, but soon found ourselves lost in this odd place. So now we're working together to try and find a way out. I assume it's the same story for you? Whoa, hold on a sec there, Nate. With what? With which? With where? Oh, are you talking about ads? Is that why you want me to hold on a sec with a new character here? Or are you saying, whoa? Oh, Perry, I don't like it. I don't like it. I was looking to see if there's anyone else, too. I wanted to get out, so as I thought. Well, then, would you like to come with us? Huh? It's dangerous to be here alone. There's lots of strange creatures around. Being a jerk because of whoa, I got you now. So, will you come with us? I think it'd be best if we all stayed together. Yeah, I'll come. Then it's decided. What's your name? Mary. Mary, then. Nice to meet you. Mm-hmm. Nice to meet you, Ib. Nice to meet you, too. Hmm? All right. And with a new companion, let's proceed with our spirits high. I don't trust Mary. I don't trust Mary. Yay. I don't trust Mary one bit. The force of quarrel. Which one is it really? What you mean? What do you mean, though? Oh, that's right. Seeing as Ib and I both have roses, Mary, do you perhaps have a rose as well? I do, a yellow rose. Huh, so you do. You two keep those safe. Don't you dare lose it. And don't give it to anyone. And wow, Ib's rose is red. My rose is yellow. I like yellow, but I also like pink. Oh, and blue. Learn to listen, would you? Flower of jealousy. I don't trust Mary. I don't trust Mary. Oh, bunnies. It's Easter. Ruin of the mind. If your mind suffers too much, you'll soon start to hallucinate, and in the end, it'll break apart. More worrying yet is that you'll not even be aware of that fact. Red eyes. For the love of this painting, this room, why is it all so unsettling? Really? I think it's cute. What about this is cute? I just think it is. What about Ib? I won't pet it. Ib, do you really like this kind of thing? I can hardly stomach it. Gary, you're just a weirdo. You're the weirdos. Never mind that. Let's investigate this place and then get out of here. I feel like I'm being watched in here. Makes me restless. Did a rabbit just jump to its death? Y'all okay? Everybody all right? Nobody else jump, okay? Oop. There's a sound coming from the painting. Huh? The sound's getting closer. Oh, no. Something came up from the floor. This seems bad. Get away from the painting. Yeah, but watch out. Oh, no, Gary! Are you two all right? That scared me. What about Ib? Are you hurt? I'm okay. Thank goodness. With these things in the way, I can't get over there. Breaking them is probably impossible. They're absolutely huge. What'll it do? Hey, Ib, you got a key in that room, right? Maybe that key opens that door there. We might find something inside that can break these. So, hey, can we look? Well, I wonder if you'll be okay by yourselves. We'll be fine, right, Ib? I'd rather not split up. Huh? Why not? We'll be back really quick. I can't think of anything else. I suppose you're right. As reluctant as I am for us to split up, fine. But if you don't find anything, make sure you come straight back, understand? Then we'll reconsider our options. Yeah, got it. Okay, let's go. I don't trust Mary. I don't trust Mary. A sketch of some strange thing. And why wouldn't it be? Is there anything useful in here? Ah, there's a palette knife deep in the box. Maybe this can cut those spiky things? Let's try it. Nah, as if that would work. You're not good with jokes, are you, Ib? But I think I'll hold on to this. I would rather you didn't. You know, just in case. I would rather you didn't, actually. I would be a fan of not letting you do that. I don't really see anything useful. Should we just go back to Gary? Huh? That scared me. You scare me. Oh. The door. Why is that statue there? Wasn't it against the wall just now? Let's move it, Ib. Ready? Heave. No good. It won't even budge. What do we do, Ib? We can't get out. We gotta go forward. I guess we'll just have to look over this way, Ib. I knew he shouldn't have left. Gary! Oh. I want you to have fun, Ib. Come to a fun world without any grown-ups. I'm worried this is Mary. I'm worried Mary's bad. Fallen star. I don't trust you, Mary. Clown. Its nose is sticking out. Look. Oh, it came off. Phew, stuck it back on. A painting of what looks like a swing. Ooh, ooh. We'll be together. You, me, and our friends. Mary. Mary, I don't trust you, Mary! I wonder what's Gary's doing. We kind of left him behind. Not on purpose. Do I get to control Gary? They're sure taking their time. I wonder if something happened. Ib, Mary! Say something if you can hear me. No use. I knew I shouldn't have let them go alone. What now? What do we do? I don't know. Give up? I would not be good in a horror situation, right? I suppose I'll investigate that room again, as much as I hate to go back in there. Okay, yeah, I get control over Gary. Oh no, I don't like this. That was scary and I didn't like it. This is spooky. I miss the rabbits. The rabbits were better than all of you guys. Red eyes. Oh, is this what Gary saw? Oh, no. Oh. I don't think Ib is okay. I don't think Ib is okay. Oh no. Why it moves? Why didn't I notice that earlier? Oh well, I can go out this way. Floor has a strangely shaped indent on it. Oh, that's on the other side. A cord hangs. Don't do anything. There is no exit. There is no reason. Ah! Ah ha ha ha! Oh ho 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 ho! I see. Yes. Yes! 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 Ha 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 ha! Indeed. Yeah, look, there's a bridge now. What are you doing, Yub? Come on, let's cross. Guess so. Hey, Yub, can I ask you something? Is Gary your dad? Nope. So your dad is somebody else. Huh. Is your mom nice? Yeah. Oh, lucky you. You want to see your parents again soon, right? I want to get out soon, too. I don't believe you. Hey, so Ib, if only two of us could get out of here, what would you do then? Why are you asking that? Huh? I don't know, just because, you know, just wondering about what you might do if that happened. I was curious, that's all. Whatever, let's get going. Mary. The blank of blank stars. The night sky's pretty. I can hardly believe there's so many white specks up there. When we get out, let's count how many there are. Together. Oh no. Oh no. It's another one of those. Oh no. Ow! Don't do that. I just wanted to see if anything else would happen. You must be kidding. It switches off the lights? Thank goodness. I knew it wouldn't come back. Okay. So that did nothing. I thought maybe one of them would change the indent, but alright. That's fine. Okay, let's look at paintings. Heavenly Thread. Worry. Tattletale. Skin and blue. Fisherman. There's nobody there, though. Two of one flesh will work in combination. The paintings connect together. How fun. How fun. Mary. I don't know about you, Mary. Guardian of the door. Writing appeared on the mirror. Answer with the name of the painting. If you are correct, I will open the door. Or did I get it wrong? Just the name of paintings, right? Sounds fun. Let's do it. Can I look around? Can I look around? Okay. Let's do it. Well then, what is the title of this painting? A shame. Ow. Okay. Heavenly Thread. Worry. Tattletale. Skin and blah, blah. A fisherman. Two of one flesh. Lady without her umbrella. Painting high on the wall. I can't reach it. Can we look at it together, please? Square rock. This one's the only regular rock? Weird. Creature you've seen in a textbook. I know this one. I saw it in a book. It said it went extinct a long time ago. Like what's extinct anyway? Snail. Looks like a big lollipop, I guess. Hermit crab. The sharp end looks like it had hurt. Dried up life forms. What is that one called? Ooh, what's this? Ooh. What's this place? There's no color. There's a rainbow on a canvas. A floating palette. All right. Let's try again. Heavenly thread. Correct. Woohoo! Way to go, Ib. Now for the next painting. Oh, there's more? I don't remember. Marvelous Night. Correct. Yay, Ib wins! As promised, I will open the door. Good. Oh, what's that? Large rolled up paper. Unroll it, and it's a painting. But what's it a painting of? What should we do with this? Should we take it? Let's leave it for now. I'm not even sure what it is. Collected Works of Giratina Part 1. It contains paintings by Giratina organized by letter. Which page will we look at? L. Lady in Red. It was said that Giratina based this on a lover he had at the time, but he has denied this claim. In truth, Giratina based it around the Blibble woman who attempted to Blibble him for his inheritance. The Blibble fish. 6235. Am I supposed to be writing down these numbers? Though grayscale, this curious piece makes clever use of shading and angles to give the impression of color. The blah detail put into even the scales a wide variety of emotions and people. Last page. Juggling. A work based on a juggler Giratina saw at the circus with his grandchild. As it is extremely rare for Giratina to use real people as models, this piece is highly valuable. The girl's demise. Once upon a time, there was a little girl. The girl went into an art gallery with her parents, but all of a sudden the girl realized that she was lost. She searched around the dim gallery, but found neither her parents nor the exit. Scared, helpless, lonely, hungry, and thirsty, she fell and hurt herself and had her body's limit. The last page is an illustration of a collapsed girl. Doshemar. Doshemar. What? Is that a burrito in the corner? It is not. It's a heart painting, but I do see what you're going for. I guess I gotta take it. I didn't really want to. But here we are. Would you like it? What do I do with the odd painting? I'm kind of in love with this game, yeah. I feel like I missed so much. A lot. There's a lot. There's really a lot. A lot of spooky stuff. A lot of spooky times. I found a painting, but I don't know what to do with it. I'm a little lost. Nice, dude. The greatest gamer. Oh. Hello there, Gary. I don't like being alone, so take me with you. Disturbing doll. Take it with you. Take it with you, Gary. Hey, why aren't you taking me? I'm trying to. Why are you ignoring me? Do you hate me? I'm trying to take you. Hey, play with me. I know lots of fun things we can do. I'm trying. Believe me, I want this puzzle to be over just as much as the next person, okay? I've got lots of friends for you, too. I'll introduce you. Be here forever. I just keep adding save files. How long are you going to follow me? Enough of this. I'm busy here, and I'm not going to be your buddy. move it. Gently. Times like this, it's best to ignore it. No keyhole. The door must be opened some other way. Take me! Why? Why, Gary? Some kind of ball? It vanished. Peaceful water, I don't need that. 2 of 1 flash to work in combination. I'm afraid I only see 1, though. Oh. Don't like those hands. Juggling. A voice comes from the painting. What year was I born? Ah. I did need those. Oh, okay. Oh! The palette! Collect the 7 colored balls of paint and then the path shall surely open. Balls of paint? Could it mean that ball that vanished earlier? I'll follow you forever. My home is just nearby. Okay. So I got to figure out how old was the juggling one. Okay. What kind of room is this? I think I got to watch out for that strange gas. Yeah, I'd say so. Let's figure out how old juggling is. Basically, H-Man, we are lost in an art gallery, and we're trying to figure out what's going on. 6223, 6223, 6223. So far we found, nope, didn't mean to do that. We're trying to figure out how to get back to the real world. Correct. Thank you. Heart in custody. Heart, you say? Marvelous Night. Ah, it was the... Okay. Understood. Oh, a heart in custody. How do I drop it down to myself? Is there a way? Can I drop it down this hole? Surely not. Surely they're not going to make me backtrack. Man! I thought that might be the answer. It would be silly of them to make me backtrack. So how am I going to get... Oh. Nope. Man. I thought that was it. Ah. Maybe this was a failed attempt. Replace the center. The belly. Now it looks like it swallowed something. Let's put this extra one to the side. No. Yeah, get the heart out. Thank you. And then give the heart to the hand. Yes, 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 yes. The greatest. Gamer. There's your heart. Ooh. Why is there an umbrella here? Oh, I guess I'll take it. It could serve as a weapon in a pinch. Via a trading of existences, the fantastical can be made reality. I'm not sure I understand. There's no fear greater than the unknown. Terror. Being alone is frightening. A pair of 2 can bring relief. A group of 3, the rest has been torn off. I hope Ib and Mary are okay. At least they have each other. Essentials of color. It describes the uses of color. This is pretty difficult stuff. Oh. Thanks. Enlightenment. Taking out books is forbidden. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take a book. I'm gonna take a book. Gimme. Gimme a book. Gimme one. Did she move? Hey, are you on a treasure hunt? I want to play too. Be my actual guest. Okay, umbrella with a curved handle must have something to do with some. Would you like the umbrella? Goodbye. It's just one inexplicable thing after another here, isn't it? Nice. Fisherman. Hey, Ib, look, he caught something. And now it's ours. Haha. Nice. All right, now what do we need this umbrella for? This thing? Nope. With a broken umbrella, right? Aw, you're welcome. It started raining in the room. That's so weird. I'm guessing that did something in the other room too. No? Thought that would have been it. Thought that would have solved it. How curious. What was the point? Oh, the turtle. I didn't even notice him. I didn't even notice. Hey, buddy! It's moving. Where do you think it's going? It's coming here. It's coming here so we can look at the painting. Rotation. This painting rotates. Let's try turning it. Ooh. Ah. Okay. And so now it's going to change the orientation of this room. Not really. See what happens then. At least turn the red ones off, huh? But I can't get over there. You help me? I'm sorry. That change anything about you? No. What could it be? Somehow I gotta be able to get rid of this. I don't know. Because I can't go back. I won't give up. Okay, so so I can't touch the poison. That's good to know. Gee Willikers, I don't know what to do. Do you know Mary? Mary! What other painting can't we reach? What are you talking about? Oh! Is that the game telling me I'm barking up the wrong tree? I think it might be. I don't honestly remember what's back here, but let's just see. It's not stopping me, so maybe there's something back here. Nah. Phooey! What am I missing? Something ain't adding up, but I don't know what it is. I must know. I need to know the secrets, please. Please tell me your secrets. It must have something to do with the cold to the touch thing, but I don't know what they're talking about. I have a very important Undertale question that isn't a spoiler. Ask away. I love Undertale questions. Dude, I don't know. How do I get down there? It's got to have something to do with the cold, but I don't know what to do with that. Maybe this book? Is this book something cold? No? Is Undyne a pun on undead because she's trying to work on undying? Sort of. You'll know more should you choose to do the genocide route. My dudes, I don't know. Do I need full health, maybe? Maybe if I have full health, does it work? Have those lips been there the whole time? Yeah, they have. Okay, let's save and do the red. Give Gary full health and see what happens. No. Dude, I don't know. I don't know what to do. What is this cold room? What does that mean? Doorknob is strangely cold. What does that mean? What do you mean? I mean, her name is just Undyne, but you will know more about her name. What do I do? Should you play the genocide route? Dude, homie, I don't know what to do. I am completely and utterly dumbfounded. Mary won't give me anything. I might have to look up a walkthrough. I got nothing. I would not recommend doing a genocide route, Trombone. It's pretty dark. You might want to honestly like watch a walkthrough or a let's play. Y'all, I really don't know. I genuinely don't know the puzzle. I can't figure it out. I'm completely stuck. I'm gonna look up a walkthrough. I got nothing. I genuinely have nothing. No, that's the wrong room. Didn't it say those vines go away because of the moon? There was a moon on the floor in one of those rooms. I don't remember that. And everything I keep finding is the old Ib, not the new Ib. Oh, gee whiz, dude. Even the nobody tells me online. What do I do? There's nothing online even about it. I can't even cheat. Am I a dummy? See, that's the answer to the puzzle, H-Man. That little thing down the bottom that's the clover, that's the answer to the puzzle, but I can't get there. I guess let's try again. I'll try with the green one up. Full health. Talking to the Vine just says more of these. Now can I spin it? Yeah, so it was just full health. I just did the wrong one. Ooh. That was really tough. And so I have to have 1 health. You just have to have 1 health. Is there more water? Thank goodness. Okay, so now the vines are gone. Now they should be able to go down to this room. Woof. Oh, look, upstairs. I bet we can take them to the lower floor. Tell the statue, this is in the way. Aspiration. And why wouldn't it be? And why wouldn't it be in the way? Maybe those moved up here too. Yes. Thank goodness. It contains paintings by Giratina organized by letter. I wonder if there's anything useful. S page. Serpentine Spirit, 6248. Beginning with this piece, Giratina shifted to greater focus on abstract art, but at the time, Cubism was more in vogue, leaving Giratina's various abstract works largely ignored. Oh wait, there were more. H page. The Hanged Man, 6219. Giratina apparently painted this as a page filler while doing binding work for a magazine. With illustrations each issue, it became renowned and was later sold for a limited time as a tarot card. Presently, it is next to impossible for one to come upon this tarot card. Mary, the last work of Giratina's life. No. No, no. 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 No, no. No, no, no. No! Ib! Ib! There's a familiar painting on the page next to the description. Ib! Why? It can't be. That's Mary. She doesn't exist? What does that mean? But then, who or what is with Ib? I heard it. I heard it. Mary's secret. Get me out of here. I don't like it. Oh, its stomach looks a bit bloated. Don't touch it. I found treasure too. Suppose I'll take a closer look. Thanks, doll. Oh. Door's unlocked. Don't go in yet. Ib! Who are you with? Oh, I don't like it. 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 There's 7 of them. Of course. Huh? No way. It won't open. Why? Let's have another treasure hunt. Who has the key? What's that? What? What now? This doesn't look good. I need to find the key and get out. Pebbles. Nothing. 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 No. Nothing. Ah! No. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all. Get me out of here. Get me out. I don't want to be Oh, no! What happened to Gary? No. We're gonna save Gary. No, 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 no. We're saving Gary. All right, I didn't check any of the ones on the bottom left. Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know. We know. Oh no, it changes every time. Oh wait. What you got that I don't got? Nothing! Ooh, yeah! We did it! I've had enough of that room! Why did I have to go through that? This is no time to be whining. It might be in a terrifying situation of her own. We have to regroup soon. Stairs. I've come this far. Now I'm wondering if I should keep going. I'm not sure what good going back would do. What to do? I'm so indecisive. I'm pathetic, really. Just keep moving. There's no other option. Please be safe. Ooh, tattletales. Mary. No. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Don't. I don't want to talk about it. It's whispering something. What's wrong? I gotta hurry. Where'd you go? Gotta move it now. Harry? Ib, help me out here. We gotta move this quick. There's gotta be an exit if we go down. Why are you getting in my way? There's something on the table. Illusion. Hey, Mary, I got the key. Ib, why won't you help me? We can go downstairs if we move that statue. Right? Why are you running? Ib! What are you doing, Mary? Shut up. You should have been good and waited there. Mary, I knew it. Let go. Ib, are you all right? Sorry I took so long. Whoa, Ib. Sorry. It must have been scary. But it's okay now. You might not believe me, but Mary, she isn't human. She's one of Giratina's works. Just like those women in the paintings who chase after us. I didn't notice with how normally she acted, but it's dangerous to stay with her. If I'd just been a moment too late there, you might feel sorry for her, but we need to get away from here now. This rose, it looks real, but it's a fake. Looks like we can go down if we move this. Step back, Ib. Ugh. Just how many of these have I pushed today? Well, let's go. Oh, okay. No, that's... Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just a child's drawing. No big deal. We're just in child drawing world. Hard, but there's treasure. Easy, but there's nothing. Treasure? There's something here. Obtain the diamond. A diamond? Is this a treasure it was talking about? Excuse me, but could I take a look at that? Huh. Diamond shattered. Oh, well, I knew it couldn't have been real, of course. Really, I did. Well, now this is a stark change of mood. No reason to remain cautious, though. Or no reason not to remain cautious, though. Let's go, Ib. A tulip? A tulip? A tulip. If you say so. There's something posted up here. Oh, it's a map. This is a map of the area. We seem to be in the bottom right currently. Let's take a closer look at any of the points of interest, shall we? Sketchbook exit. But it needs a toy key? Regular house. The gallery. Cute little house. Lake with a bird. Pond. Stare into the water. Yeah, make sure you don't fall in while you're spacing out. Water feels lukewarm. A long-necked duck swims around. If I had to say, it looks more like a goose to me. Oh! A cute little house. Seems we can't walk on black areas here. There's no keyhole. The door must open another way. This game has gotten weird. There's a note on the yellow building. Read it to open this door. Such a kind message. So kind that it feels suspicious. Oh. Butterfly. Butterfly Park. Is that us? Why is the doll there? Why is the doll there? Why is the doll there? I don't like that the doll was with us. Yeah. Some kind of red fruit. The window. I guess this is a coat hanger. A bucket you can carry. Take the bucket. We need to wake up. It's good to get some sunlight. Oh! Mary, do you have the knife? Ib, Gary, where are you? She has the knife. Put down the knife, Mary. Don't tell me it was that. She's after us. Now you're playing Omori. Man, it's been Omori the whole time. All right, I need the bucket to get the water. Worth a shot. Fortunately, it seems we were wrong. Okay, go fill the bucket back up. Wait, it made the flower wilt. Or do I need to use it on the tulips? Can I use it to wash away the black markings here? Worth a shot. Gotta bounce later, skater. CH, man. No! Yeah, we're about to wrap up stream anyway. What can I use the water on? Uh-oh. What's up with the footprints? What's up with the footprints? We don't like that. We don't like the footprints. No, no. Not a fan of the footprints. I don't like them. I don't want to see them. Is there something in the house? No. Well, gee whiz. I don't know what I can do. Feed it to the duck? Would the duck want it? What? I come back and this game has somehow gotten weirder. Oh, it's weird. Oh, it's weird. But I'm stuck again. What do I do with the water? I got a bucket of water and I don't know what to do with it. I got a big old bucket of water, but nothing with which to do. I guess I need to be looking at more things along the road. And I thought for sure may I trouble you for movie game? Sure, that'd be a great way to end stream. Especially because I'm clueless. All right, movie game. Then we'll find somebody to raid. A working husband clones himself numerous times to make life easier, but things get complicated when the clones become subterranean reptile juveniles excelling at flips and kicks. It did work. You have redeemed twice. Do you want to? A working husband clones himself numerous times to make life easier, but things get complicated when the clones become subterranean reptile juveniles excelling at kick flips. Sunlight. Am I going to do something to the sun? Multiplicit Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That is correct. Chat's in the clap. Let's go one more. One más. Adorable extraterrestrial spaceships befriend residents of an apartment complex in danger of demolition, courtesy of the Merc with a mouth. I have never heard of this first movie. Adorable extraterrestrial spaceships befriend residents of an apartment complex in danger of demolition, courtesy of the Merc with a mouth. You love that first movie, Sneaky? I need to know more about it. I've never even heard of it. I've never even heard of the first movie. We are going to turn on Spoofy, and I guess we're going to close out of this game. We're going to finish it, though. I'm going to finish this game, but honestly, I have no idea what to do next. if I'm being totally real with you guys. I don't know the first one. Take it, Sneaky Pigs. I would never know the first one in a million years. In the meantime, while Sneaky is responding, I'll find somebody to raid. Oh, Frost is live. Oh, we should raid. Oh, stream ending. Nope. XG Ninja it is then. Is XG Ninja just starting? It looks like it. Is XG Ninja even there yet? Batteries not include Deadpool. That is correct. Batteries not include Deadpool. Oh, Just a Little Spark just went live too. Or maybe it's just ending. It's been a long time since we've rated Just a Little Spark. Let's do Just a Little Spark. Folks, we're Checkpoint Church. My name is Nerd Pastor, and I'm really a pastor, and Checkpoint Church is really a church. And we believe three things to be true about every single one of you out there. Number one, we believe that God loves you, like really, really loves you. Number two, we love you, we want community with you. And number three, that you, yes, you matter. You are a person of sacred worth, folks. This is going to be our last stream of the week, but I appreciate you being here. If you'd like more of what Checkpoint Church does, we are going to be live 24/7 over on Discord. We're always hanging out there. So exclamation point Discord in the chat if you want to hang out with us there. And then exclamation point YouTube will take you to our YouTube channel where we post nerdy sermons every single Sunday. This upcoming Sunday, spoiler alert, this upcoming Sunday is on Trigun Stampede. So look forward to that. And yeah, I don't know. Batteries not included, but I'm definitely going to look into it and see what we can figure out. And with that, we're going to go raid our friend Just a Little Spark. So if you do me a favor, whenever you followed this channel, you would have gotten a You Matter emote. If you would go spam You Matters over in Just a Little Spark's chat, that would mean the world to me. With that, until the next time that I see ya, be well. 10 seconds. God loves you. We love you. You matter. Spam the You Matter for me, and I will see you soon. Ready to raid in 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.